Young Justice, episode 6 review. You can see it's March 26th. They're having breakfast, Artemis, Red Arrow, and his daughter, and it's just a regular family morning. Things is happening, juice is falling, big happy family. And Artemis, she's a teacher now, professor, and she's going on dates, so she's getting back to, in a sense, somewhat normal, and she's fighting crime, having fun, doing what she does. And then she walks in and sees the faces of her former teammates, and she already knows by the look there's something wrong, and asked who is it. And as we know from last episode, it was Superboy Connor Kent. And as you see, like, now it's April 17th, so that's almost a month later since Connor has died. They're back at the table. Things is a lot more bleaker. It's not as bright as it was before. She's getting her butt kicked. She's losing. She's disoriented. All the things that's on her mind. And if you look at it now, it's now April 18th. So it's the next day after she's getting her butt kicked from breakfast, and she sees the Kid Flash and Superboy memorial, and it just brings her to tears. And she's really having a tough time. And it's sad to see Artemis like this because, she's going through a lot. And then Red Arrow had a great, bright idea of putting up a picture of all of them when they were together, and, it still hurts. She's going through a lot, especially, you got to think about it. Her family life wasn't the best life. And I think this is where the writers of Young Justice do a great job, because a lot of this stuff we already know, but they're bringing it back from, previous seasons, specifically, I think season 1. And this is probably my favorite episode because it's telling now a whole complete story. And it makes the first 3 episodes of this season a little bit more tolerable now that you know what's to come, and how, once again, it's still having an effect and everything is still going on. And she's sitting and she's talking with her mother and, just trying to, figure life out, and saying, you know what, I couldn't save anybody, but maybe it's time for me to save my sister. And as we know, her sister Cheshire needs new saving. Well, that's Cheshire. Is Cheshire her name? No, not her name. But now it's April 18th. Artemis' sister is heading to Infinity Island. Still April 18th. Artemis is heading to work. She's a professor, still messed up, and wiping her eyes, and somebody starts to follow her. Who, we don't know. And then that person is revealed to be Onyx. I don't know the character, but knowing the creators of Young Justice, it's probably a great character, and they usually write their characters great. So, new character. We got Arsenal, and I forgot this other girl's name, fighting Onyx because she's following Artemis, like, what is going on? And Arsenal finally takes her out with an electric shock. And you see Artemis come out in the tigress outfit and says, okay, who are you and what do you want? And the one part that I liked about this, when she had the stick up to the throat, she told her, you followed me from my home. You broke the rules. And that's one of the greatest things I love about Young Justice. Last season, they had something called the nuclear option. And that was when all the kids got together and they were going to a birthday party. And Orm, Aquaman's brother, was going to kill him. And Lady Lady Shiva came and she said to him, yeah, this is what we call our nuclear option. We don't want the entire league coming after us for you killing their kids, because that means we're done. They're going to be crazy. And when Artemis told Onyx, you broke the rules. The secret identities in this universe, there's not too many that's really hidden. Everybody knows everybody. There's not too many hidden secret identities, but they play the game correctly. You do not mess with somebody else's family. That's on the bad side or the good side. You leave that alone. If we meet, then we're fighting. But as far as the off time, do not mess with anybody's family. That's why Artemis told her, you broke the rules coming after me. Follow me from my house. This ain't playtime. So that's the part I really liked. And as you can see, Artemis's sister went to go to the League of Shadows, trying to get herself killed because she's tired of this. Well, she's on the Shadows hit list, and the guy's telling her, nah, we don't do it anymore. You're good. But she doesn't believe it because she's been there for years. And then what do we see? Talia, the Red Hood, and little Damien. And because they did a year jump, last time we saw him, he was a baby. Now look at him. He's a little 1-year-old getting ready to cause trouble. And I find it hilarious to how Talia's saying she would never give up her kid. All these, different things. But it was just nice to see, once again, Young Justice establishing, even though it's a big universe, a lot of people don't like it, but they're just establishing what they've already written. And I thought that was great. And then we go back to Artemis, and you see Onyx was telling her, hey, they're going to try to plant a mole saying that Vandal Savage's daughter is out with her father. It's not true. And Vandal Savage's daughter pops up and says, well, it is true, but I'm not a mole. I'm done with my father. He killed my sister. And I thought it was absolute genius the way, first of all, you don't know who's telling the truth, but the way they perceived it. Somebody's lying, either they're both lying. It's very high level storytelling in my book. And to me, as they're riding in the car and, nobody's really trusting them and thinking they're lying, they get attacked by who? I don't know. It could be the League of Shadows. I don't know who it is. And then they start fighting. But once again, it builds up the story that, oh, somebody's after them. They're going to attack them. You don't know if they're lying or not, but it gives them great cover. By the way, I think a lot of these fighters were girls, because they were making girl, sounds when they were getting hit, which I thought was very interesting. And, they're fighting, going all out. I love the part where Red Arrow stuck the guy in the back with a pen. I thought that was very nice of him. Or I think it was a girl too, and they're talking, and he's like, please don't do no damage. Please don't mess anything up. And then he does damage. Arsenal does damage. It's just all, great, and it gives you that good, warm Young Justice feeling. And then after they finish, they head to the cell where they're keeping both of these prisoners. And, Artemis is trying to talk to both, interrogate them, trying to figure out, all right, what's going on? Who are you? And, what's your motive? And, they're both keeping their same story. And this is when they start plotting, saying, all right, who's really real? Who's lying and who's telling the truth? Are they both lying? All this stuff, once again, good writing by the creators. It just makes you think, what is going on? And we see Tara coming back from last season, because once again, she was a planet mole, and she's not anymore, and they're having a discussion. What do you think? And then you get this character, I forgot the name, but he shook his head. Should we trust them? Shook head for both of them. Nope, do not trust either. I don't believe it. And I really think this is the best episode by far. And I believe more and better things to come. But But remember the timeline I gave you. It's now April 19th. So it started from March, and now we're a month later, April 19th. Artemis was attacked April 18th. Cheshire went to the island April 18th. It's now a day later. She comes back and says to her mother, what's going on? Why did you call me? And she's like, I didn't call you. She's like, yeah, you did. What's wrong with my daughter? Nothing. And then Artemis pops out and says, we need to talk. And that's where it cuts out. And then they have the ending poem by Charles Dickinson, which was great. But every time they bring up Superboy, it kind of makes you feel sad. I don't know why. Maybe I'm the only one, but it is sad. I don't think he's dead, but but we know how the writers of Young Justice are. Even if he's not dead, we probably won't see him for another 2 seasons. So that's the sad part. Even if he's not dead, we won't see him, and everybody will be dealing with the consequences of it. As for every season, they deal with the consequences of Wally. But that's one of the reasons why I love Young Justice. They keep it real. They keep it real, and we're now into a second season without Wally, and they're keeping it going. And superheroes die. It happens. So I really love that fact, and this is by far my favorite episode, and I hope it's you guys' favorite episode too. I thought the first half of the first 3 episodes waned on a little bit. Last week's episode was a lot better because they moved the story forward, and I think this week's episode is even better, and now we're starting to get into the crux of what the season probably really is about, and I love it. There's probably not too many better shows on TV than Young Justice. So don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next week for episode 6, and don't forget to comment. See you next time.